fantastic. I mean, we didn't know what to expect. So the last tour, we made a very short tour in the UK with the band of Tony Levin, Pat Mastelotto and Marcus Reuter, and the two bands together. So we didn't really understand how many people came to see us or how many people came to see Tony. We assumed everyone went to see Tony. So this tour has been, educational to see if people really want to hear this kind of music, because it's unusual music. Yes, there will be an Italian drum clinic tour, and I believe we start on the 16th of April in Modena. And if you can look at my Facebook site, or if you can look at my website, gavharrison.com, all the dates will be there, because I don't remember them. But I think there's maybe 12, 13 clinics in Italy. As of days. Yeah, I'll be back in Rome.
So until the end of the year? I assume, I don't know.
No. It'll go from 16th of April until, I think, 29th of April.
Okay, so it's very
It's short. And then there will be another tour in May where I'll go to Germany, France, UK, maybe Spain, Austria, and maybe some Scandinavian countries. I think so. The problem is finding the time to do it, because I'm going to be very busy this year. The bass player is Tiago Coimbra, and the guitarist is Justin Dwyer. And these guys are from Cambridge in England, and they've worked with Rick for many years. Rick is also a drummer, a good drummer.
Really?
Yeah. And he plays in a band. He plays drums in a band with Justin and Tiago. So that's how we found them. Yes, tonight.
It's nice.
Oh, yes.
So you feel excited about it?
I don't know if it will become a DVD. Maybe we will just find the best bits and put them on YouTube. I don't know. Until you see all the film and you listen to all the recording of the music, you're never sure if it's good enough. So I'm sure something will come good of tonight, but I don't know how much. I haven't really changed endorsement, but I have a new drum set. The blue drum set that you see tonight is the first one which Sona made for me. I have a new snare drum which I designed, and I've got some sticks that I designed, Vic Firth sticks. So I guess I'm starting to move more into being involved in the design of the instrument, which is very interesting for me. So I can really get exactly what I want. And, I've been helping Zildjian cymbals sometimes develop new ideas for cymbals. So it's a very interesting thing outside of music to be involved in the design. I mean, I've been playing drums for 44 years. Yeah. Which is funny because I'm only 30. But I've been playing drums for 44 years, and over those 44 years you start to realise what things you really like and what things you don't like. So with the help of the companies, I can steer it a little bit the way that I like it. The technology, yeah. I think maybe I'm too old because the technology wasn't there when I was growing up and taking an education. We didn't have the internet, we didn't have YouTube, we didn't really have DVD or VHS even. So the opportunities were different, but also the distractions were less. I didn't have Xbox, Wii, kind of video games. I didn't have a computer, so perhaps in a way it was good because I was less distracted. So after school there was only two things I could do. I could go to the park, play football with my friends, or I could play the drums. There wasn't even TV on. The TV started I think 4 or 5 o'clock, and there was 3 channels. So maybe that's good in a way, I don't know. If I was 13, 14 years old now, maybe I'll spend more time on the computer than on the drums. And even now, I have the drums set up at home in our house, and when there is a computer, I'm constantly, checking, it's distracting. It's always distracting. You can hear ding, or email, things take your attention a little bit too much. And the best thing, if I want to practice, I just have to turn off the computer. Because even when I'm playing, I think, I didn't reply to an email, or something, I remember something that I have to do on the computer. But without a computer, then I'm really without distractions. And the mobile phone. And I enjoy it, I like having the internet, and I like looking on YouTube. It's a great waste of time. Not all of it, some of it is fantastic, but if you're bored, then there's a lot to do. In Porcupine Tree, we have a lot of time to do nothing. Every day we arrive at a venue, we go in the dressing room, maybe there's 5 hours until sound check. So everybody opens their laptop and we don't speak anymore. We don't speak to each other, we just go on the computer. The last European tour, I took my bicycle on the bus, on the tour bus. I have a folding bicycle, it goes in a suitcase. So it gave me the chance to get away from the tour, because you spend all day and all night with the same people. It's quite hard. But with the bicycle, I can go into a local town, with a GPS or a map. Sometimes I just ask the tour manager to print a map. And I just ride into the centre, walk around, see things, look at architecture.
But by yourself?
Yeah, and it's good. Sometimes it's good to be by yourself. You need time to detox the brain. Do I feel nostalgic? No, I don't. I don't crave being on tour, to be honest. This is a very new thing. The thing I'm doing with 05 Rick's, very new thing. So the novelty is still there. The novelty hasn't worn off yet. We've only made 11 shows so far. But if you are in a band for 10 years and you play, 100, 200, 500 shows, the novelty is gone. And so, yes, I like to play the Porcupine Tree music, and I'm very good friends with the guys in the band. And that part is great fun. The travelling and the amount of time you spend waiting is very boring. Some days, we arrive at a venue 11 o'clock in the morning and we go on stage 12 hours later. Well, like tonight. We go on stage at 10:30 tonight, probably more like 11. So you've got 12 hours with nothing to do.
It's tiring, I think.
Yeah, and I miss playing the drums. I want to practice the drums, but we do a short sound. There isn't time to practice the drums in a situation like this, because as soon as you finish, there is a support band. They need to set up. So you don't have a lot of time on your drum set, maybe I could bring a drum set into the dressing room, but it would drive everybody crazy. The other guys in the band would, you know. It was a concert that it's a concert that we recorded in Chicago. And we recorded it because we used to play the entire incident in one go. It's 57 minutes long. And we would play, the first part of the concert would be the entire album, The Incident. So, because we felt we probably wouldn't play it again on another, in its, you know, entirety, we decided that we should record the whole thing. And a good opportunity came in Chicago, and a good friend of ours brought some Canon 5D cameras, you know those cameras, really nice, really looks good. And he said, I could film the show for you. I have some other friends with 5D, Canon 5D. So we said, okay, you know, let's do it in Chicago. We can film it and we can record the audio. Now we only recorded, we only filmed the incident part. We didn't film the rest of the concert. So Octane Twisted is the live version of the incident, audio. It's also a DVD, which is the live, you know, us playing. And then the rest, the second CD is some other songs which we thought were interesting. Some old songs, some songs that were recorded in London at our last show, and some other songs that we played in Chicago. But there's no point to put the same songs on every DVD. We don't play a different arrangement, we play the same arrangement. So we put some different, more unusual songs on the second disc, and that is Octane Twisted. I mean, I wanted to be a professional musician because my father was a professional musician. And so really I decided when I was 6 that that is what I was going to do. So all the way through school was just a waste of time for me. I didn't really want to go to school anyway, but I had to go to school. I wanted to play the drums professionally, and that's all I concentrated on as a young child. I suppose when I left school and I actually got a job playing the drums when I was 16, that fulfilled my childhood dreams, you know, from when I was 6. Because I didn't know when I got to 16 if I would be good enough to play. I mean, I don't think I was a particularly gifted or talented or, you know, prodigy kid. You know, but I was very determined. And I think in the end, determination will get you a lot further than raw talent. You know, I didn't think I was raw talented. I was very coordinated. I was a good dancer when I was 6. I was in ballet school, and I could play football very well because I had coordination. So the drums felt like a natural thing to do. But, you know, when I see clips on YouTube of young drummers who are 9 years old, 10 years old, they are 100 times better than I was when I was 9 or 10 years old. I think I got a lot better when I left school and I realised what I needed to do to survive as a professional musician. Because being a professional musician is different than being in your bedroom playing to Porcupine Tree album and filming yourself and putting it on YouTube, which of course many people do. Or, you know, it's a different kind of requirement to be able to go and play at someone's wedding, to go and play in an orchestra, to go and play with other artists where you don't know the music. to come to Italy to play with Claudio Baglioni. You know, if I was just one kind of drummer, if I was just the drummer who played rock drums with double bass drums, that wouldn't suit Claudio's music, or it wouldn't suit Franco Battiato's music. So you need to be very adaptable. You know, I've played with a lot of different artists and a lot of different situations, like playing in theatres in London, in the, you know, the orchestra pit with a conductor, you know, this kind of thing, or playing on TV shows, or playing with, you know, R&B artists, or playing with Iggy Pop, you know, playing punk music. You need to be very adaptable if you want to be a professional drummer. You know, if you want to be a professional photographer, you've got to go and take pictures of weddings, you've got to take pictures of babies, you've got to take pictures of families. Maybe you're not really interested in that because you want to be you want to be one of the best artistic fashion photographers in the world. But, you know, the first day you go to work, you know, Giorgio Armani doesn't call you and say, hey, I hear you have a camera, come and shoot the fashion show in Milan. You don't get there in one step, you know what I mean? You get there in 100 or 1,000 steps. And the first step is shooting, you know, a wedding and shooting a christening and shooting babies and dogs, and it's a very slow build, you know what I mean? You don't just leave school and then join a successful band. I turned professional in 1979. That's 34 years ago. And maybe people are only just now hearing about me. You know, they're, wow, who's this guy? Gavin Harrison. I've never heard of him. Wow. It's like the first day they've discovered me. Okay, well, I've been already professional for 34 years, you know, playing in all sorts of different situations. And I played a lot in Italy. No, not really. A lot of people bring things for us on tour. Some people bring... there's a certain level you get to where people bring you things and then they start making pencil drawings of you. This is a special step where people start to make, I don't know why, but they want to make a drawing of you in pencil. And then they want to give it to you, and it's this big, right? Like a picture in a frame with glass. They give it to you when you're on tour in San Francisco, right? The next day you've got to fly to London. Do you think you're really going to take this to the airport and try to put it on the plane? Of course you can't. No, I don't have a special place. I mean, people give us a lot of CDs and they always want us to listen to the CD and write to them and tell them what we think. But on a Porcupine Tree tour, we might get 20, 30 CDs a day. We don't have time to listen to 20 or 30 CDs per day. And at the end of a tour, the bus, we have a shelf, we might have 100, 200, 300 CDs. We're never going to have time to listen to them. So they end up on the bus, sadly. I mean, people write to me a lot and say, can you look at my YouTube? I've played drums and here's my YouTube clip. Can you go there and then write to me and tell me what you think? And I say, I can't.
I have no idea.
I don't have time, and if people know that I do this, then they're going to send thousands of them. Yeah, I mean, some people bring very nice presents. Like today, you brought me a very nice present. Bottle of wine, things to eat. Fausta always brings nice presents. And that's, you know, we have a friend of mine, his wife makes chocolate cookies. She makes fantastic chocolate cookies, right? Now that is something we can use. You put it on the tour bus, the band, the crew, and they're all gone. That's something very useful. Chocolate cookies, you know, things like that. Big pictures in pencil are not very useful, to be honest. I'm flattered that somebody wants to spend, I don't know what, 50 hours making this drawing, but I can't do anything with it. And really, if I took it home and put it on the wall, people who came to my house would think, why have you got a big picture of yourself on the wall? You know what I mean? It's a bit weird. No, I mean, King Crimson really is in the hands of Robert Fripp. Mm-hmm. It's his band. And at the moment, as far as I've understood, Robert doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play. So at the moment, there is no King Crimson. But he's done this since the beginning. He plays and stops, plays and stops, plays. So I don't know if in the future Robert Fripp wants to make King Crimson again, or if he will even ask me. But it was a fantastic experience to play with them, and I hope in the future I could do it again, but it's really not in my control.
Okay, so that was the last question.
Great.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.